बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। रब्बी ज़िदनी इल्मा, ए मेरे रब मेरे इल्म में इजाफ़ा फरमा, आमीन। अस्सलाम वालेकुम क्लास, आई एम योर फिज़िक्स टीचर इरम. We are studying chapter number 12, geometrical optics. Today our topic is the human eye, which is the last topic of this chapter. After studying this topic, you will be able to draw the structure of human eye, tell that how the human eye resembles a camera, know about the accommodation of eye lens, define the defects of vision, and describe the corrections for defects of vision. Let's have a brief recap. A convex lens is a converging lens because it gathers all the light ray, it focuses all the light rays incident on it to a single point after refraction. A concave lens is a diverging lens because it scatters all the light rays incident on it after refraction. Camera can move its lens towards or away from the film to focus the image of an object. Yes, a camera can move its lens, or we can say that a camera can zoom in and zoom out its lens towards or away from the film. It depends upon the location of the object in front of the camera, so that a focused or sharp image of the object can be recorded on the film. The light rays coming from a distant object are taken as parallel to each other. While drawing the telescope, we have seen that the light rays coming from the distant objects, just like stars, are taken as parallel to each other. Let's start with the structure of human eye. Human eye have so many parts, but we have to discuss some of the parts to discuss the ray diagram, that how the lens present in the eye forms the image on retina. So let's start with cornea. It is a transparent membrane in front of the eye through which the light enters the eye. Iris. It is the colored portion of the eye and controls the amount of light reaching the retina. It also controls the size of pupil. So what is pupil? It is an opening in the center of iris. In bright light, pupil is contracted, and in dim light, pupil is enlarged. It means that iris controls the size of pupil, as pupil is present in the center of the iris. In bright light, the pupil is contracted, and in dim light, pupil is enlarged. I think you have also observed it in your daily life. Whenever you are in sharp or bright light, you have to close your or shut your eyes so that your pupil is contracted, and in dim light you have to see the objects by opening your eyes wide, so your pupil will be enlarged in that case. Lens. A flexible converging lens is present in the eye. Ciliary muscles control the curvature and focal length of the lens. Converging lens means a convex lens is present in the eye. It is flexible, means it can adjust its curvature and focal length. It is the ciliary muscles actually control the lens. So according to the movement of ciliary muscles, their relaxation or contraction makes the changes in curvature and focal length of the lens. We will discuss it. Next part is the retina. Retina records the picture. The lens forms an image on the retina, which is a light sensitive layer at the back of the eye. Optic nerve. Optic nerve takes the image formed on retina. As the light is incident on any object, and when it enters in our eye, we can see that thing and its image is formed on our retina. The optic nerve takes that image to the brain, where it is flipped, means, as you know that the converging lens, the convex lens, produce inverted images of the objects. So the image formed on our retina is actually inverted. It is inverted means it is not the right side up. So when the optic nerve takes an image to the brain, our brain flips it and the right side up is there again. Let's see the picture. Here you can see a tree. Its image formed on retina is inverted. Its upper part is below and its lower part is above in the image formed on retina. This image is taken by optic nerve to the brain, where the brain flips it over and its right side become up, and we see the tree as this in its actual shape. So this is the task of the brain with which it what we can say do in no time to see, and we can see all the things in their original shape. How human eye acts like a camera? As I have just told you that a lens is common in both the camera and lens, in eye. In camera, the lens can be zoomed in and zoomed out according to the location of the object to form the sharp image on film, and in eye, the focal length of this lens can also be adjusted to form sharp images on the retina. So a film in the camera and retina in the eye also behave in the same manner that the images formed on the film in camera and the images formed on retina of the eye. Diaphragm and iris, aperture and pupil are the openings, and in this way we can say that the human eye behaves like a camera, because the lenses in both of these can adjust their position to get sharp image of the objects. What is meant by accommodation of the eye? The variation of focal length of eye lens to form a sharp image on retina is called accommodation. The variation of focal length means the changes in the focal length of eye lens to form a sharp image on retina is called accommodation, because we have to see nearby objects as well as the objects present at some distance in our lives. So to see the objects located at different positions, our eye has to accommodate. That process is called accommodation, means our eye lens have to change its focal length according to the location of the image to form the sharp image on the according to the location of object to form a sharp image on retina. That process is called accommodation. Defects of accommodation may be corrected by using different types of lenses in eyeglasses. Means some of the people cannot see nearby objects and some other cannot see distant objects. That are actually the defects of accommodation. Due to the defects of accommodation, which can be corrected by using suitable lenses. Here you can see, to see the distant objects, you can see the parallel light rays here, which show that the light rays are coming from a distant objects as they are parallel. To focus on objects in the distance, the ciliary muscles relax and the lens flattens and thins. Light rays are slightly refracted, bent by the lens. It means to see the distant objects, the ciliary muscles relax and the lens becomes thin, its focal length increases and a sharp image is made on the retina. And for the nearby objects, how the lens is accommodated? To view objects that are nearby, the ciliary muscles contract and the lens becomes more rounded. Here you can see the shape of the lens. It is thin, and in this case it is broad or it is thick. It is more rounded. The point at which the image of a close object becomes blurred is called the near point of the vision. It occurs when the lens reaches its maximum curvature, means that to see the close objects clearly, the lens have to get tensed. It becomes thick, the ciliary muscles becomes contracted, and the lens becomes more thick, its focal length decreases, and a sharp image can be is made on the retina. Here you can see that ciliary muscles, the lens is controlled by the ciliary muscles. Here is the retina where the image is formed. This is the far point from where the light rays are coming, and to see the distant objects clearly, the image must be formed on retina. Here the lens is thin, and in this case the lens is thick. Image is formed on retina just because of the accommodation of the eye lens. The ciliary muscles are tensed here, the focal length of the eye lens decreases, and the object located at near position can be seen easily. That was the accommodation of eye lens. Now what is meant by the near and far point of the eye? The near point of the eye is the minimum distance of an object from the eye at which it produces a sharp image on the retina. It is also called the least distance of distinct vision, means it is the shortest distance where the eye can see the objects clearly. If the distance is reduced from this near point, means we come closer to the eye, the object present at near point comes more closer to the eye, it becomes blurred. It cannot be clearly seen by the normal eye. The near point for normal vision is 25 centimeter, means 25 centimeter is the near point of a normal eye. If you take any object more close to your eye from 25 centimeter, you cannot see it clearly. That is the near point of the eye. It changes with age, as you know that the senses are not that much sharp and in the old age, so we can say that the near point also, the vision also changes with the age. The near point changes with the age. For people in their early 20s with normal vision, the near point is located about 25 centimeter from the eye. It increases to about 50 centimeter at the age of 40 years and to roughly 500 centimeters at the age of 60 years. It means 25 centimeter is the near point for the young people, and as the age increases, the people cannot see the things which are located at 50 centimeter. Now in old age the near point becomes 50 centimeter. If they take anything near close or close to the eye lesser than 50 centimeter, they cannot see it clearly, and it also increases to about 500 centimeters in the more old age, or you can say that at the age of 60 years. The far point of the eye is maximum distance of a distant object from the eye on which the fully relaxed eye can focus, means without the aid of any spectacle or glasses you can see at a maximum distance. It is not fixed distance. The far point means the eye can see as far as moon or stars, so we can say that the far point of a normal eye is infinity. It also changes with age, means the old age people cannot see at that much large distance, so we can say that the far point of a normal eye is infinity, and it is the maximum distance of a distant object from the eye on which fully relaxed eye can focus. That were the near and far point of the eye. Now let's discuss about the defects of vision. What is meant by defect? It is any inability. So the defect of vision will be the inability of eye to see the image of objects clearly is called defects of vision. It is common nowadays. It is also inherited in some persons, but due to the over usage of mobile phones or these screens, uh, the vision is badly affected. So nowadays you can see in your surroundings that most of the people use spectacles for the uh, vision or for eyesight. So the inability of eye to see the image of objects clearly is called the defects of vision. The defects of vision arise when eye lens is unable to accommodate effectively. Accommodate means according to the location of the object, the eye lens cannot fix it, cannot change its focal length. That is the defect in accommodation, and the defects of vision are actually due to the defects in accommodation. The image formed are blurred in this case. Obviously, when the lens cannot accommodate effectively, the image will be blurred. Either it is near to the eye or far from the eye. Some common defects of eye are myopia, also called nearsightedness, and hypermetropia, also called farsightedness. These are most common, but some other problems are also there, like cataract and redness and more. There are so many diseases of the eye, but we will discuss myopia and hypermetropia in detail. What is myopia? The disability of an eye to form distinct images of distant objects clearly without the help of glasses is called myopia. Means if a person cannot see distant objects clearly, we can see that he or she is suffering from myopia. Here you can I am using two words, distinct and distant. These are two different words. Students get confused in these two words. They are actually, the disability of an eye to form distinct images means separate or sharp images of distant object. Distant means the objects which are present far away from you. That is the word for that objects is the word distant is used for that objects, but distinct means sharp. That the disability of the eye to form sharp image of distant objects clearly without the help of glasses is called myopia. It is also called nearsightedness or short-sightedness. In this defect, a blurred image is formed in front of retina. So what happens in this disease, in this defect? The defect in myopia, the eye lens cannot accommodate, cannot see the distant objects clearly, cannot accommodate according to the need, according to the necessity. So the sharp image is not formed. If the image is formed on retina, it will be sharp, but this image is now forming in front of retina, so it is a blurred image. The object will appear blurred. It may be due to eyeball being too long. If the eyeball becomes too long, the images will be formed in front of retina, and that results in myopia. This defect can be corrected by using a diverging or concave lens. What happens when concave lens is used? Concave lens, the light rays from distant objects are first diverged by this lens before entering the eye. Because concave lens is a diverging lens, so it will diverge the light rays coming from the distant object first, and then they enter in the eye, and the lens of the eye then focus all the light rays to the retina easily. For observer, the light rays appear to come from the far point. So this is how the myopia occurs. Why it arises? Due to the eyeball being too long. It can in myopia the image is formed in front of retina and it is corrected by using a concave lens. Image formation in myopic eye. How image is formed in myopic eye? You can see normal vision in comparison with myopia. In normal vision you can see the image of this candle is formed on retina. It is a sharp image, but in myopic eye the image of this candle is formed in front of retina, so we can say that this is a myopic eye. Let's discuss how we can draw the ray diagram for a myopic eye and how it is corrected by using a concave lens. Here you can see in this ray diagram that the light rays are coming from a distant object because they are parallel. We have to draw the parallel light rays to show that they are coming from a distant object. What is happening when they enter in the eye? The lens cannot accommodate and it forms the image in front of retina. The retina is present here, but the image is formed in front of retina, so it will be a blurred image. Now you can see in first diagram the far point is infinity. Now the far point becomes less for the myopic eye. What is happening here? The light rays are coming from another point other than the infinity, other than the actual position, and the eye lens accommodates and converges all the light rays on retina. Far point of how it is happening? Because here the far point is changed. That's why the image is formed on retina. The image formed on retina will be sharp now. But this actually not happens. How? We have to correct this defect by using the concave lens. And how this concave lens changes, how this concave lens correct the image? Now you can see that this is the far point of the eye, but the light rays are coming from the distant object. We have to use these light rays that are coming from the distant object, that parallel light rays, which get refracted from the concave lens, and they are somewhat diverged before entering the eye, and when they enter the eye they will be easily converged on the retina. So here by the use of concave lens, now you can see that these dotted lines show that the object will be appear to present on this point for a myopic eye in place of that actual position of the object. So we can say that a concave lens is used for the correction of myopia. Hope you understand all these. Second defect is hypermetropia, the disability of an eye to form distinct images of nearby objects without the help of glasses is called farsightedness. It is the defect which arises when the eye is unable to see nearby objects without the help of glasses. It is called farsightedness. It is also called, I have written here farsightedness again. It is also called long-sightedness. Hypermetropia is also called farsightedness. In this defect, a blurred image is formed behind retina. In contrast with the myopia, the blurred image is formed behind retina. In place of forming the image on retina, the image is formed behind retina. So it will be a blurred image. It may be due to shortening of eyeball. The cause of hypermetropia is actually the shortening of eyeball. This defect can be corrected by using a converging convex lens. This lens, how the convex lens corrects the hypermetropia. This lens refracts light rays before entering the eye. Then the eye lens converts them on retina to form a sharp image. Let's see how it happens. So the observer, the light rays appear to come from near point. Image formation in hypermetropic eye, you can see in normal VN. In the normal VN, the image is formed on retina. It is a sharp image. But in hyperopia, so the farsightedness or hypermetropia is also called hyperopia. So the image is formed behind retina. That's why it is a blurred image. Now let's discuss how this defect arises and how it is corrected. Here you can see an object is located at the normal near point, which is at 25 centimeter for the normal eye. But what is happening, as the eye is hypermetropic eye, the image is formed behind retina, so it will be a blurred image. So what happens next? The near point of the eye is 25 centimeter. So for the near point of hypermetropic eye will be changed. It will be somewhere behind the actual near point of the eye. The near point of the defected eye is somewhat here. So the light rays will, if the light rays are coming from this point, then they will form a sharp image on this retina. But for hypermetropic eye, how it will be possible? By using a converging lens. Yes, like this. If we use a converging lens first, the glasses with converging lens, what will happen? The object is actually here. So if we place the converging lens, the convex lens here, the light rays first somewhat converge, and while entering the eye, they will be again converged and they will be focused on retina to form the sharp image. So if we extend these light rays backward, you can see that the object will appear to be here for the hypermetropic eye, because the normal near point for hypermetropic eye will be changed. So the object appears to be here in front of in place of this actual near point. So that was all about defects of VN and their corrections. Hope you understand all these. Here is your homework. You have to answer the following questions. You have to give as short answers as possible. Can we call the human eye as a natural optical instrument? You have to tell why. If we can say it as a natural optical instrument, then why? How the human eye behaves as a camera? How can farsightedness be corrected, and how the size of pupil changes in dim light? Only in dim light. You have to tell only in dim light. You have to do the practice of these figures. No need to send them their pictures to me. You have to send only text messages for your answers, and in case of any problem you can ask anything anytime. Thank you.